What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Blue Eyes White Dragon Light and Darkness Dragonlord deck profile. So I'm really excited to do something for you guys because this deck is an extremely powerful deck that can summon out one of my favorite boss monsters ever created. Light and Darkness Dragonlord. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So without further ado, let's go and get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 2 copies of the Blue Eyes White Dragon. This card is an amazing, extremely nostalgic boss monster that's super fun to be able to play, but I feel like 2 copies is really all you need in this build. This card is so easy to get to, and it's such a powerful combo piece. We then play a single copy of Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. Jet Dragon is my favorite Blue Eyes card ever created because this card helps you protect your other cards from being destroyed by card effects, and it can easily summon itself out to your side of the field. We then play 3 copies of Maiden of White. Maiden of White is definitely a 3-of in the build because this card has an insane ability, and you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard to actually place a copy of True Light from your hand, deck, or graveyard face up in your spell and trap card zone. And if you special summon a copy of the Blue Eyes White Dragon and this card's in the graveyard, you can actually special summon this card as well, which is a great ability to instantly bring this card out, so you can go in for a level 9 synchro play. We then play 3 copies of Sage with Eyes of Blue. Sage with Eyes of Blue is the best normal summon in the entire deck, because this card can actually search out your copy of Maiden or Effect Veiler directly from your deck to your hand. We then play 3 copies of Darkened Evaporation Dragon. This card is how we make our copy of Light and Darkness Dragonlord. This card is actually insane as a 3-of in the build, and it's just such a powerful card overall in this deck. This card is a walking polymerization, and as the ability you can actually banish a level 8 dragon monster from your extract to special summon this card from your hand, and then you can actually fusion summon a fusion monster from your extract using monsters from your hand or field, making it super easy to make your copy of Light and Darkness Dragonlord using this card plus a copy of the Blue Eyes White Dragon, Jet Dragon, or even our copies of Lubellion. We're also playing 3 copies of the Bestial Lubellion in this deck, because this card is an awesome card to be able to work with our copy of Darkened, because you can easily use this card to be able to fusion summon it into your copy of Light and Darkness Dragonlord. This card also helps us get to our copy of Branded Regain, and can search out our other Bestial monsters from our deck to our hand, which is amazing, and it's very easy to summon out to our side of the field, because all we have to do is actually have this card in our hand or our graveyard, and then tribute a level 6 or higher Dark Dragon monster to be able to special summon this card, meaning it's super easy to summon out to our side of the field by just tributing one of our Bestial monsters. We then play a single copy of Magnemite. Magnemite is really good as a 1-of in the build because this card basically searches out a dragon monster during the end phase after you special summon this card to your side of the field, and you can add a dragon monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, and all of your level 6 Bestial monsters share a common effect, and you can actually target a light or a dark monster in either player's graveyard and banish it. If you do, special summon this card from your hand, and it's a quick effect if your opponent controls a monster. We then play a single copy of Druid's Worm. Druid's Worm's awesome in the deck to basically just use this card to spot remove cards off the field. We then play a single copy of Baldrake. Baldrake is awesome as well in the deck to basically just use this card to help you spot remove cards off the field, like your copy of Druid's Worm. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom's an amazing 3-of build to basically just stop your opponent from touching the deck. We then also play 3 copies of Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler is definitely a 3-of the build to basically just use this card to stop your opponent's monster effects, but you can also use this card in the deck as a combo piece just in case you need a spellcaster that's a level 1 light tuner. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get in to the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Pot of Prosperity. Pot of Prosperity is great in this build, just to help us dig into the deck for the exact card we need, like your copy of Darkened. We then play a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is awesome in the deck to basically just stop your opponent's hand traps when you're going in for all of your plays. We then play a single copy of Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons. This card is great as a 1-of in the deck, because this card lets us special summon in defense position a Blue Eyes monster from your deck, graveyard, or banishment, but if you control no Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can only special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon with this card's effect. Also, you cannot special summon the X deck for the rest of the turn except Dragon monsters, which is totally fine for this build. We then play a single copy of Mausoleum. Mausoleum is searchable of our Blue Eyes Link monster, but this card gives us an additional normal summon of a level 1 Light Tuner monster in addition to our normal summoner set. And also this card is a Foolish Burial for the Blue Eyes White Dragon, helping us get it into the graveyard so we can go full combo. We then play a single copy of Branded Regain. Branded Regain is awesome in the deck to be able to work with our copy of Lubellion, because Lubellion can instantly play this card on our side of the field when it's on our side of the field. And this card also has the ability, if a light or dark monster is banished, you can actually target one of those monsters and place that monster on the bottom of the deck. If you do, draw a card. Also, if your opponent normally special summons a monster, you can actually target one of your Bestial monsters in the graveyard and special summon it, which is a crazy powerful effect. We then play 3 copies of Wishes for Eyes of Blue. Wishes is definitely a 3-of in the build, because this card has the ability to discard a card, and then a level 1 Light Tuner and a Speller Trap from your deck to your hand that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon, which is a great ability to instantly grab the exact card you need, like a copy of Roar plus Sage, or a copy of Effect Veiler if you've already gone full combo, which means you can actually search out hand traps with this card's effect, which is crazy powerful, that you can instantly get to a copy of Veiler, because this card is a level 1 Light Tuner, and this card searches level 1 Light Tuners. We then play 3 copies of Book of Eclipse. Book of Eclipse works really well with our copy of Light and Darkness Dragonlord, because it basically just flips it face down, so we can flip it right back up and it has its attack points back, which is crazy powerful. Plus this card also helps you break your opponent's board by flipping their opponent's monsters face down, which is insane. This card is really good as a 3-of in the build, and helps out a lot in this deck, especially with your copy of Light and Darkness Dragonlord. Once it's used up all of its negates, you can basically just flip it down and then flip it right back up during your turn to basically get all of its negates turned on again. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get in to the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start with a single copy of Majesty of the White Dragons. Majesty is really good as a 1 on the build, because this card helps us pop 2 cards, which is insane to be able to do, and it's very easy to be able to get to this card in the deck. We then play a single copy of True Light. True Light is awesome in the build to be able to get to their copy of Maiden, because this card has the ability that your opponent cannot target Blue Eyes White Dragon in your monster zone with card effects, and also you can use one of its 2 effects per turn. You can either special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand or the grave, or set a spell trap directly from your deck that specifically lists Blue Eyes White Dragon in its text with a different name from cards that you control and in your graveyard. Meaning you can use this card to get to your copy of Wishes, Majesty, or Roar directly, which is insane to be able to do. We then play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is definitely a 3-of build to basically just stop your opponent's monster effects and also lock down entire columns of spells and traps. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get in to the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start with a single copy of Light and Darkness Dragonlord. This card is crazy powerful and definitely give us a like for the 25th anniversary version. This card is super easy to summon with your copy of Dark End, plus a copy of either Lubellion, which is a level 8 Light Dragon monster, or your copy of Blue Eyes White Dragon, or even Jet Dragon can make this card with your copy of Dark End, as this card actually requires a level 8 Light Dragon monster plus a level 8 Dark Dragon monster, and has the ability to must be fusion summoned, and while it's face up on the field, this card is also treated as a Dark Attribute monster. And once per chain, if a spell trap card or monster effect is activated, quick effect, this card loses exactly 1,000 attack and defense points, and if it does, negate the activation. And if this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can actually target a dragon monster in the graveyard and special summon it, which is a crazy powerful effect. This card is a triple negate at worst, and also if you use it with your copy of Book of Eclipse, you can basically turn this card into a 6 negate, which is crazy powerful because you just flip it down and then flip summon this card back up, and it will have its attack points back because it forgets that it's actually lost attack points of its own effect when you flip it face down, which is actually insane. This card is definitely a 1-of in the build because you're only ever going to summon this card once, because when you do, you're probably going to win the game. We then play 2 copies of Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon. The reason we're playing 2 copies in the build is because we're playing 1 copy to summon and 1 copy to send off the effect of your copy of Dark End, so we can actually special summon Dark End to our side of the field. This card is super easy to summon with your copy of Wishes and can basically attack all monsters your opponent controls once each, and also it can help you recycle your trap cards, which is insane. We then play a single copy of Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate is really good to be able to use with your copy of Wishes because you can actually banish Wishes from the graveyard, equip this card to a Blue Eyes White Dragon, and then tribute the Blue Eyes White Dragon equipped with Neo to be able to special summon from your X deck your copy of Tyrant, which is crazy powerful in this deck. We then play a single copy of Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon. Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon is really good in the deck to be able to work with a copy of Spirit Dragon, because you can actually tag out your copy of Spirit Dragon to be able to summon out your copy of Ultimate, and this card is actually a walking negate, which is really cool because it has the ability that when a card or effect is activated on the field, quick effect, you can negate the activation. If you do, this card gains 1,000 attack points, and also your opponent cannot banish cards from your graveyard, and if this card is destroyed by battle by card effect, you can actually special summon a light dragon monster from your graveyard except a copy of this card. We then play 3 copies of Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. I really like playing 3 copies of this card in the deck because it's an insane card that can easily tag itself out for another light dragon synchro monster, and also neither player can special summon 2 more monsters at the same time and once per turn during either player's turn. When an effect of a card in the graveyard is activated, you can actually negate the activation, which is a really cool effect because if your opponent pops your copy of True Light, it will attempt to activate in the graveyard to destroy all monsters you control, and you can actually use your copy of Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon to negate your own copy of True Light in the graveyard that's attempting to board wipe you, which is crazy powerful. We then play a single copy of Azure Eyes. Azure Eyes is great in this build to be able to use, because this card is the ability, if this card is special summoned, until the end of the next turn, neither player can target dragon monsters that you currently control with card effects, and they cannot be destroyed by card effects. And once per turn, during your standby phase, you can actually target a null monster in the graveyard and special summon it, which is a great effect to help you bring back Blue Eyes to your side of the field. Then play a single copy of Lightstorm Dragon. Lightstorm is really good at helping you deal with your opponent's back row. Then play a single copy of Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. Black Rose is great in the build to help you deal with level 5 or higher monsters, which is really cool to be able to use this card in the deck to basically just tag out your copy of Spirit Dragon into this card. We then play a single copy of the Light Charmer. Light Charmer is great for the mirror match, where you can actually take your opponent's copy of Blue Eyes from the graveyard, which is hilarious to be able to do, but it's really cool to be able to use in the deck to let you target a light monster in your opponent's graveyard and special summon him to a zone this card points to, which is insane that you can actually do that. We then play a single copy of Hieratic Seal. Hieratic Seal is part of our inboard, which you guys have not checked out. The 3 combos you need to know to play Blue Eyes. You should definitely check that out. It's a really good watch and it helps you out a lot with the combos of this deck. But this card is part of our inboard plus a copy of Spirit Dragon, because this card helps us summon out a copy of Magnemite to your side of the field, or you can summon out a different dragon to your side of the field, depending on what you need. But this card helps you spin a card out the field and summon a copy of a dragon to your side of the field. I usually summon Magnemite to the field so I can search out the exact dragon I need from my deck to my hand, like a copy of Dark End. So for the follow-up, I can actually make a copy of Light and Darkness Dragonlord, which is crazy powerful to be able to do. We then play 2 copies of Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Spirit is great as a 2-0 in the build because you can easily use this card in the deck to basically step into a copy of your Mausoleum and then use this card to tribute it on your side of the field to be able to make a copy of your Blue Eyes, because this card can tribute itself and then bring Blue Eyes back to your side of the field. After Mausoleum, send it to the graveyard. But this card is awesome in the deck as a 2-of because you can easily use this card in the build to basically just send your copy of Blue Eyes to the graveyard off Mausoleum's effect, because this card searches Mausoleum. So that's it for the deck, guys. Hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have not played a Blue Eyes deck using Light and Darkness Dragonlord, you should definitely give this deck a try. It's so fun to be able to play, and it's crazy how easy it is to summon out Light and Darkness Dragonlord to your side of the field, so you can easily control the board. So, that's good for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, become part of notification squad. We'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.